Finally, the theme all manga readers were waiting for has come out. The warrior of liberation has finally claimed his crown. As a fan, I have never felt this much joy watching the anime. People can criticize the pacing of the episode, but one thing we all can agree on is how much they nailed their feat. Reading the manga, I was very skeptical about its anime adaptation because it is the most ridiculous thing I have ever seen in any media. I never could envision their feat in video form. Toei Animation managed to adapt and overcome the portrayal of Luffy's hysterical laughter coupled with the whimsical nature of his awakening. Because of his one-of-a-kind nature, it stretched the standard boundary of animation. Every Luffy frame screamed happiness and freedom. Their feat was the perfect power-up for Luffy. If it had been a cool power-up, it would have felt out of place for Luffy as a character. We all love the Super Saiyan transformation because it fits the overarching theme of the show, which is to be more powerful. A telltale sign of a good transformation in a shonen is it has to match the themes of the show. Many themes are tackled in One Piece, but at the end of the day, it all stems from freedom. So for the fruit to symbolize freedom and bring joy to the faces, not in universe, but in our reality as well, it was the best decision Oda has ever written. Luffy is drunk with fun, and I enjoyed every second of it. We manga readers know what will happen, but for the anime-only people, you are in for a wild ride. The next few episodes will be one of the best series of content One Piece will ever have. I love how they captured the unorthodox movements of Luffy. I always thought how fun it would have been if Luffy let his powers run wild. It would brought some great body lines and cool imageries, but who would have thought Oda will one-up that sentiment? This moon silhouette is one of my favorite panels in One Piece, and it is baffling to think Oda foreshadowed this back in Skypiea. Even the scenes with the Gorosei was amazingly animated. It had depth, and the things they said left nothing but impact. So, Luffy has a Hito fruit model sun god Nika. We were bamboozled from the very first episode, but at this point, we should just get used to this. The Conqueror's Haki, fire ring from Luffy, makes the riffraff fall, catching the attention of Kaido. A big hand pulls him towards the roof, and then Luffy starts to manhandle Kaido, the strongest man in One Piece. I love the Looney Tunes nature of the animation. It just screams One Piece when the eyes pop off the face. It is just the perfect power-up. In the manga, I usually read the dialogues and mostly ignore the onomatopoeia. Most of the time, they are not even translated. I understood that Luffy was in constant ecstasy, but to see that uncontrollable laughter animated was terrifying. Imagine you are fighting against an opponent that is continuously laughing, but at the same time beating the ever-living crap out of you. Luffy radiated joy, but sometimes he was psychotic to look at. That was jarring to me the first time I saw Gearfit, but from another perspective, it was Luffy free from any chains. It truly embraced the concept of freedom, not giving two thoughts about social cues and mannerism. He just embraced his inner desires. Gearfit is an encapsulation of One Piece entirely. Yes, it is goofy, but so is One Piece. I love how One Piece always has been an absurd reality, but in the moments where it truly matters, can take itself seriously as well. That change in tonality is what I love in One Piece. It always makes the reading experience fresh, which is the most important thing for a long-running fantasy story. We have seen Luffy as a liberator throughout the story, standing against racism, supporting nations from dictatorship, and protecting friends. All of Luffy's action has been some form of liberation. So to bear the name of Nika, the sun god known to free all slaves, was a great reveal. Also, it was fun and satisfying to name him Joy Boy as he is in a state of continuous laughter. At first, it was overwhelming to see Luffy overpower someone like Kaido. It felt really out of place for me while reading the manga, but after contemplating it for a few days, I realized what the intentions for Gear 5 were. What did Roger do when he found the One Piece? What is the name of the island where the One Piece lies? What is the title of the anime? Oda was planning this kind of power-up from the very beginning. Look at this panel and tell me Gear 5 was not pre-planned. A Super Saiyan power-up would have not fit Luffy's character. Similarly, being possessed by a higher being like Joy Boy would not have worked for the themes of One Piece. But what did work was the expansion of Luffy's joy. His big smile has always been infectious, and for Gear 5 to represent those personality quirks was a very satisfying and in line with the character. In the second phase of the fight, Kaido throws a Boru breath at Luffy, and his counter to that was beautifully animated as well. I love how he catches his eyes while returning the Boru breath. Even the Hiyori scene made my heart rage. The honor of the samurai, especially the Kozuki, always amazes me. I know it was sandwiched between Gear 5, and due to that, people will find it repulsing, but that was the basis of the manga too. Hence, I was not bothered by it because I was expecting that. Even the reuse of the scenes doesn't bother me that much. It is a big change for Luffy, so it will take time for anime watchers to accept Gear 5. However, what I am bothered by is the flashback of previous battles. This is a big gripe I have about the anime. I hate that we flash back to the thing we saw a month ago. Even worse than that is they added a slow motion to a flashback scene. It is the only criticism I have about the episode. You have the source material, so instead of the flashback, you could have shown other scenes in the later part of the manga, and then in the upcoming episodes showed only the Gear 5 scenes. It makes me worry that coming episode will randomly show flashbacks as well to cover the 20 minutes. Anyways, I do want to assure you that unlike chapter 1044, adapted in 1071 episode, where we had Gorosei and Hiyori scenes, chapter 1045 has nothing but the very exciting Gear 5. You have yet to see the true boundaries of the power because even the manga readers are not sure about the limits of the gear. As said by the Gorosei, it is a ridiculous ability. Luffy is capable of doing anything he can imagine. It is such a great power-up that makes me feel so much joy as a fan of the show for a decade. Another thing to point out is the sound design. I love how they put in the sound effects we have all seen in a Looney Tunes cartoon. It has been confirmed that Oda was inspired by Tom and Jerry, which, if you are from my generation, was a sensational show. Also, the African drums were a great touch to the sound design. If you did not know, Nika is actually an African deity. He was said to be around the age of slavery, who laughed at the world's problems and taught people that you have to sing and laugh or miss adversity. A man that always laughs at adversity and he is followed by drums to laugh and sing. I wonder who that is in One Piece. Oda is such a masterful writer and I cannot wait for more Gear 5 scenes in the anime. August will be an amazing month for One Piece. Manga has been ever so hyped, Gear 5 in the anime, and lastly the One Piece live action. So much content for us starving fans. I do plan to cover each episode of the live action adaptation, so if you want to know about my thoughts on it, please subscribe to the channel. I did make a One Piece video where I talk about some themes in One Piece. I will pin the video, but for now, this will be Dungeon signing out.